Welcome to Yapping Unfiltered. Today's breakdown is on the Brazilian GP. And for those of you who have not watched it, it was a shit show. Let's not kid ourselves. It was a giant shit show. Before we break down the GP, let's start to talk about qualifying because that happened the same day. It happened 2:30 in the morning, so I did not watch it because I'm not waking up at 2:30 in the morning to watch qualifying. But a lot of stuff happened in qualifying. Albon crashed. Colapinto crashed. Both of the Aston Martins crashed. And I think one more person crashed during qualifying itself. And the ranking was, again, the stewards made another stupid call. There was not a red flag in Q2, and that caused Max Verstappen to be pushed out of the qualifying. But anyway, Lando was in pole position. Then you had George Russell was P2. Yuki Tsunoda was P3. That was fun. Not gonna lie, that was a fun moment. That was nice to see. Um, and then it was Ocon and Liam Lawson. So that was the starting grid. And turn one as Lando Norris again. I really wanted Lando Norris to win this GP, but to win the championship, but Lando being Lando bottled it again. He lost the lead in turn one. Turn one, Russell was ahead, and he was P2, and it stayed like that for a while. And Max Verstappen, who started P17, I think before the first turn was already like P12 or like P8, so he just like booked it, which was insane. And a lot of shit happened. There was like I'm not gonna go like a lap by lap because there's just so much stuff that happened. There were so many yellow cards. There were so many yellow flags. I think a safety car only came out. I mean, it came out twice. There was a red flag, a full reset. There was a black flag, which hasn't happened since I think 2017, which is absolutely insane. But anywho, that happens, and then I forget exactly what caused the. So there was a virtual yellow flag, and even before the race started, um, Lance Stroll somehow spun out on the formation lap, went off track, and then the dumbass decided to go into the gravel, and there was like a yellow flag even before the race even started. He had to DNF. Anywho, Lance Stroll being Lance Stroll. Honestly, he's had a rough weekend. It was his birthday. His girlfriend broke up with him on his birthday, deleted all the pictures. He was going through it. He did not want to be there. He did not want to do this weekend, but he still did. He did not want to be there. Anywho, Albon, who finished P7 in qualifying, couldn't even do the actual race because the mechanics could not fix his car. He crashed in Q3, so they couldn't fix his car in time, and he had to retire from the race, which sucks. Carlos Sainz also crashed during qualifying, and he also, as a result, had to get a few parts changed and had to start from the pit lane like George Russell did in Austin. So yes, so there was a virtual safety car. I forget which turn the virtual safety car came in at. I want to say it was like around. Hold on, let's see. F1 Brazil virtual safety car. I forget exactly which lap that happened at, but there was a virtual safety car that got out, and Lando Norris and George Russell, who were P1 and 2, decided to pit. Obviously, because you're not allowed to overtake. However, someone within the let's just call it, someone within the FIA decided to turn off the virtual safety car while they were pitting. So everyone overtook them, and they felt like P6 and P7, which is absolutely horrendous for them because again they were on track to win. Um, then a few laps after trying to climb, because you have to pit at least once and change your tires, right? Then there's a red flag because Colapinto had a massive crash on the straight. The side of his car got torn to pieces. There was oil all over the ground. It was a pretty bad crash. There was a full red flag, race restart, and everyone got a free pit stop, which means Lando and George literally pitted for absolutely nothing. So they fell to sixth and seventh for no reason. Absolutely no reason. Lando, okay, if I'm being honest, Lando was considering pitting anyways because he felt like he didn't have any grip, which was the wrong call to begin with. But that's that. After that, George was like, "I don't want to pit." His engineer's like, "No, you have to pit. Like, you should pit." He's like, "Okay, fine, I'll pit." They didn't need to because the race restart anyway. That's so stupid. The race engineering for McLaren and for Mercedes really just shit the bed when it comes to this race. I mean, god awful decision making. I am not a part of the FIA. I am not a race engineer, and I know you don't want to pit under a virtual safety car, because if it's an actual safety car, you know you have a few laps that the car will stay, so you can pit comfortably. But no, virtual safety car, it's a button. It can go on, it can go off. Why would you pit during that? That makes no sense. Anywho, during that same time, while the race is restarting, um, Hulkenberg gets a black flag. Okay, let me search this up for exactly what happened, but I think it had to do something. He spun out, he was off the track, and then they did something with his wing. Um, let's read into it. If you guys don't know, oh, okay. So pretty much a black flag is like you're disqualified from the race. So a black flag, Nico Hulkenberg got a black flag because the marshal, his car was getting a push from the marshals when it was benched. It was beached in the gravel. So pretty much in the gravel, the marshals aren't supposed to like push a car, but they still did. So he got a black flag because of that. I mean, that's really not in his control. But again, it is what it is. I mean, he wasn't going to get points anyways. It was a horrible track, a horrible event for both of them. So before the race, picked up, Ocon was in the lead, surprisingly. Um, and then, the safety car stayed a few laps, and then the safety car went away, and then what's his face? And then Max Verstappen was P2 by then. Literally, they pitted for no reason because everyone got a free pit stop. We'll talk about that near the end of all the ifs and buts. But anywho, after that happens, um, there's another safety car. I forget the exact reason why there was another safety car, but after that safety car, Max Verstappen took the lead and he just booked it. After that, not much happened. Oscar and Lando were forced to swap positions again because, which was honestly for the better for the championship, but there's no point. There's no point. Um, we'll just get to the result and then we'll talk about the nitty gritty details of the race because there was a lot that happened. First of all, Max Verstappen won. It has been 4 months, 10 races since he has won. That man was happy. He was like actually like from the inside, he was so happy. He was like, "Oh my god, I won!" Listen, I like Max Verstappen, just not when he wins. And so this race was horrible. I woke up 5 in the morning to watch this race and to watch him win. I'm pissed. But again, masterclass for Max. 17 to P1. I hate the guy when he wins. But that was amazing. And he got fastest lap, fastest lap, fastest lap, fastest lap. He was Mad Max for the day. That was a phenomenal race. Alpine double podium. P2 and P3. Ocon and Gasly. They jumped from ninth to sixth in the Constructors' Cup. Like, just amazing performances from both of them. Just like that was phenomenal to see. Again, I don't care for Alpine. I like Gasly. Not that big of a fan of Ocon. So yeah, that the celebration for that with Esti Bestie, I was so happy for Alpine. When you see midfielders that usually never get podiums, it's such an amazing thing, and such an amazing feeling to be like, oh my god, they did it! 2, 3, that's 50 million. I mean, if things stay the same, $50 million more in budget for them for next year to make a better car. Um, it was just amazing. And Esty was like, he was literally like crying. He was like, oh my god, yay! Like he actually dead ass said that, which was just amazing. I'm so happy for Esteban, with leaving Alpine, and same for Gas. I mean, Gassi's still there, but just to get this result, which I don't think any of them expected, it was just so amazing to see. The trophy is amazing, beautiful, as Brazil always does. Brazil never disappoints. But when they were doing the champagne, they dropped the bottles like through the railing to their team because they never get podiums, right? So both of them dropped their bottles so that they could celebrate on the ground. I was like, oh my god, that's so wholesome. Um, but now let's talk about the nitty gritties of what happened in the race, because a lot happened, even that. First things first, um, as we know, Hulkenberg got a black flag. Albon couldn't race. Sainz crashed during the race, so he DNF'd. Colapinto crashed. He DNF'd. Fernando Alonso came 14th. He hated the car. He did not want to race. The car was bumpy. He was complaining the entire time. Same with Hamilton. His car was just not good. He barely made points. He hates this car with a passion. If you guys don't know, he drove Senna's car. I think it was after qualifying. I think it was after qualifying, if not before. But he was like, "This is a real race car. If I could drive this now, I would." And everyone's like, "He does not want to drive the Mercedes." The WL15 is not good. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, Russell, they're sabotaging my man Hamilton like anything," and it's abundantly clear. Um, so that's that. What else happened? Ollie Behrman, he was struggling. Where did Behrman finish? 12th. Honestly, not bad. He struggled a lot. He spun out so many times. It was not good for Ollie. I mean, it's the rain really screwed things over. I mean, Bottas came 13 in a Sauber. Shit has to be bad when that happens. Leclerc being the only Ferrari drivers coming P5. Um, also, Norris and a couple of other drivers were summoned to the stewards after the race because of it. They forced everyone to do another formation lap because during the original one, Stroll crashed, and then it was like an aborted or delayed start, but he still left. So everyone had to do another one. Both of the Mercedes were summoned to the stewards for adjusting their tire pressure after putting on the tires, which, if you don't know, is not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. But still, they only got fined $5,000 each. Same with Norris. So, yeah, that happened. Which is insane because Leclerc got fined $10,000 for saying the F word, and that was such a big deal for the FIA. But then these actual technical rule violations are only $5,000. I have no idea what the act is going on with the FIA. Whoever the current president is needs to go because he has made horrible decision after horrible decision, and I'm just like, anywho, as much as I hate Max Verstappen winning, phenomenal race. He truly deserved it. He got driver of the day too. So happy for the um so happy for the Alpines. Yeah, in general, not a good race. Not a good race. The next race is Austin, and then we have Vegas, and then the last three races. Okay, I'm gonna add another segment to my review breakdowns of the GPs, the winners and losers. insert title. Winners of the GP. Let's start with that. Obviously, Red Bull. Not Red Bull. Only Max. Only Max Verstappen is a winner for this particular GP. Phenomenal race. As much as I hate when he wins, phenomenal race. There's no denying it. Winner Alpine. Alpine. Phenomenal for them. Um, P2, P3. No one saw it coming. Just they got really lucky with the red flag and everything. But again, I'm very happy for them. ST Bestie's reaction post race was amazing, and seeing both of them like drive side by side during the cooldown lap was just amazing. Not a lot of winners. I'd say Red Bull Visa Cash App double points, Yuki P7, Lawson P9. That's kind of good, I guess. You know what? The safety car. Actually no. Well, nah, no. I think those are literally the only winners. Now let's talk about the losers of this race. So many. Carlos Sainz DNFing. Carlitos, what happened? What happened? Stroll DNFing on the first lap. Not even first lap, formation lap. Hulkenberg for red flag. No, black flag. Instant disqualification. Um, you know, same with Fernando Alonso. He did not want to do that race. He was in pain. My man was struggling. Also, another loser is the safety car. Because the amount of times that man had to go outside and drive today was insane. Loser FIA, stupid ass decisions, only finding people $5,000. Like, literally, only $5,000 for breaking rules and 10,000 for saying the F word is so stupid. Anywho, McLaren, another massive loser. Wrong call. They made the wrong call. They should not have pitted under a virtual safety car. Who does that? That's so stupid. Um, yeah, not a good day. Not a good day for McLaren at all. Uh, yeah, Perez. There are already so many rumors circulating Perez. That do we even need to talk about it? It's insane at this point. Um, oh, Williams. Williams, another massive loser. Albon was P7. He could have had a phenomenal race, but the engineers could not fix his car in time. He had to step out, so he DNF'd. Colapinto DNF'd, he crashed. It was a tricky race, but the fight between him and Hamilton was amazing to see. I will say that. Um, yeah. Also Norris. Norris is also a loser for this race. Pole to P6, granted, a lot of it had to do with that wrong call. He still bottled it. He lost not even on the first turn, just on the straight itself. He lost to George Russell. Yeah, not a good day for McLaren. Not a good day for Lando Norris. Not a good day for Ferrari. It was tricky. It was not a good GP for anybody but Alpine and Max Verstappen.